This is off of RSF 49ers Twitter.
I know that
Somebody runs that thing. I don't know who runs
I
it,
know
but
that guy.
somebody's running that damn thing. Here it is. Here's Deebo talking on the Deebo podcast.
Is this the right one?
Is this it?
I don't know, because I had 2 videos.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Oh, yeah.
And tens of people
This year.
watch this
You need the C
podcast.
taken off of your.
So hold on here. Tens of tens watch this. All right, here we go.
There's conversations about people feeling like you're not a leader this year. You need the C taken off of your chest. What's your response to that?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy because at the end of the day, we hold each other, as in my teammates and myself and Kyle and John and Jed and the other owners, the part of the team. We hold ourselves to a higher standard than what people hold us to. So at the end of the day, a lot of people kind of reflect to, taking the C off my chest because of, me having that altercation with my long snapper. But at the end of the day, I went to my kicker and told him that he needed to lock in and, we needed him to win this game. And it turned into something that it should have never been. But at the end of the day, like, it shouldn't have never led to that for sure. But at the end of the day, in order for me to have the C on my chest, it's not, I don't think it's too much of a coach's decision. The people above Cal, I think it's a player voted thing because we do that as a group. So if my peers and everybody around me feel like that I deserve to have a C on my chest, then I'm wear it with pride. And I take pride in that for sure. And at the end of the day, like I stated, I control the things I control. It's been a little frustrating for sure, but at the end of the day, like I'm gonna still go out here. I'm gonna do my job, and when the opportunity presents itself, I'm there.
There's conversation.
What do you think, Raj? I mean, nobody said he's going to get the thing stripped. The question is, should he be the captain? He blew off the media. I mean, I don't really care about blowing off the media, but he blew off the media. He dropped some key balls in this last game. It's like, this is the problem in a sport where everybody can see everything. This is why you don't call out your kicker, because guess what? Those who live in glass houses should not throw the first stone. And this guy's not running routes well. He's not separating. He's not producing. He's not catching. He hasn't done squat since the bye week. And his biggest, most high profile move is, yelling at the kicker and putting his hands on the throat of the long snapper. What do you think, Raj? Should they take the captain patch away? And I guess what do you do with Deebo? Do you extend him at the end of the year? Do you get rid of him at the end of the year? It's a huge cap hit if you want to get rid of him.
At the end of the day, or first I had to get that one out. He said that a lot in that interview. So I watched the whole thing earlier, and I clipped that up. So couple things. He addressed the TO situation. He talked about all that stuff, and he also did say that he wasn't obligated to talk to the media, so that's why he didn't do it. But to me, that's a cop out. I was very disappointed in Deebo because, as you know, I've stood up for Deebo. Me and you had a vicious argument here on your channel about it. So I apologize to you because Deebo has been playing very poorly, and that's my guy. And I'm just like, man, Deebo, you need to lock in, bro. Someone needs to tell him to lock in because drop passes, poor routes. He's been playing very poorly. And I get it. He's played through injuries. Maybe he's not 100%. He had the pneumonia, but it doesn't matter if you're going to talk and trash people, because Deebo is one of the guys that he's very vocal. And for him not to be vocal all of a sudden, I was like, wow, that speaks volumes of who he is. Now, I don't think you take away his captain, but I think something had to have been said by Kyle. Like, Kyle needs to address this. And hopefully they did. Hopefully he pulled him aside and say, look, man, you need to hold yourself a little bit more accountable, because this is a situation. Okay, Fred Warner, he's a captain, Larry. Did he speak to the media? Yes. George Kittle, he's a captain. Did he speak to the media? Yes. Do they want to? Probably not. Christian McCaffrey, he had a fumble, a big-time fumble in that game. Did he speak to the media? Yes, he did. It doesn't matter. You're not over anybody. If you're a captain, you have to. You're obligated to go speak to the media. So I was disappointed in my boy Deebo. Someone needs to tell him to lock in. And honestly, the future for Deebo, I don't know, man. He has kind of regressed. Actually, not kind of. He's regressed a lot. They drafted 2 wide receivers in this year's draft. Juwan Jennings looks like the best receiver in that locker room. So there's a lot of questions for Deebo. And his answer right there is kind of like a whole lot of nothing. I feel like he was not ready or prepared at all to answer that question. And he was kind of mumbling and just saying a lot of stuff. And at the end of the day, and he was trying to think of what he needed to say. And then he realized, oh, yeah, this is voted by the players. It has nothing to do with the coaches. And yeah, okay, that's my answer. And he needs to lock in, Larry. Lock in.
How about this? Deebo, keep your captaincy and start catching the goddamn ball.
Yeah.
Catch the ball. Okay. Catch the ball. You're a receiver. I don't care about what you say. I don't even care about what you do. Just catch the ball. Just catch the ball. And if you catch the ball, everything takes care of itself. All right. One more on Deebo this is also from your Twitter. And this was Deebo asked about Kyle. Is Kyle on the hot seat? Here's what he had to say.
There is conversation, and obviously anytime you have a team that's not really getting wins the way that they should be, we automatically go to the coach. And there's a lot of people that feel like Kyle Shanahan is in the hot seat right now. Do you agree with that?
I don't think so. Kind of since I've been here, I don't think we had nothing but one losing season, and I think that was COVID. And you can sit back and you can harp on, somebody being injured.
Mm-hmm.
That year I had a broke foot. I think Juwan Jennings was out that whole year with he pulled his hamstring off the bone. I think Trent was out. Jimmy Garoppolo, like, but we can harp on like injuries, but at the end of the day, that's a part of the game.
Of course.
But other than that, you can't show me a losing season that he's had since I've been here. First year Super Bowl, second year, COVID hit. Year after that, NFC Championship. Year after that, NFC Championship again. Last year Super Bowl. So it's like, why are you saying he in the hot seat? At the end of the day, we 5-6 right now, but we got like 6-7 games ahead. And at the end of the day, like, Kyle is one of the smartest, most player. You like those player coaches that people could ask for.
Yeah.
And so I don't kind of get into he in the hot seat, he this, he that. But at the end of the day, like, you can't show me a season where he had a losing season. Well, since I've been in the league, and I just look at it from me going in the building every day. Just see his approach to the game, even though like we kind of behind the 8 ball right now, but he don't look at it that way.
Right.
Like if he can start it all over again, this is where he'll want to be.
Yeah.
Beginning of the day, end of the day, does Kyle deserve to be on the hot seat at any time of the day?
I think his seat needs to get a little warm, Larry. I do. I know a lot of people are going to say, no, you can't get rid of him. If you get rid of him, who are you? I've heard it all. His seat needs to get a little warm. I get it. They've won a lot of games, Larry. He's changed the culture. I'm not saying anything. I'm not taking anything away from Larry or from Kyle. He's done a lot of great things. He really has. His team was bad. He built this roster. He got Deebo. He got Kittle. All these great players. They made mistakes, but every team does. I think it's catching up with them. I think mentally, they're beaten up and they're tired. I don't think he's going to lose his job this year. I don't think he's going to be on the hot seat this year. A lot of injuries this year. It's hard to run it back after a Super Bowl. Teams kind of have that Super Bowl hangover. So is Kyle going to lose his job this year? No. Is he going to be on the hot seat? Probably not. But I think the seat needs to get a little bit hotter and needs to be a little pressure. He needs to figure out the DC position, because that to me was a horrible decision. And I didn't even care about getting Wilks. I wasn't a big Wilks guy, but you needed to bring a pedigree defense coordinator, like a guy that was like, wow, like, oh man, that's a hire right there. Nick Sorensen, it didn't move the needle at all. It just was like, what are you doing? So to me, this offseason, he has a lot of soul searching to do. He needs to make sure he goes and gets a good defense coordinator. They could have had a lot of different players. Like Vrabel, I think, was one of those guys. There's a lot of good candidates out there, and he stuck in-house. He wanted to be buddy with, the guy that the coaches, the players like. Doesn't matter. He was not a DC before. I think that was a big mistake. They need to fix the special teams, probably get rid of Brian Schneider. I think that's a big issue. Fix the O-line, because it's not just Kyle. There's a lot of issues, but it stems to him because they haven't addressed the O-line, right? They're like, okay, we got Jake Brendel. He should be okay to run my system. We got Colton McKivitz to run my system. They're not great. And now we're seeing it. When players get hurt, it exposes their weaknesses. The D-line, they usually have a strong, fortified D-line, and we've sat here and talked about it every week. It's not that great. So there's some things he needs to fix. And if he has a massive losing season next year, they lose the locker room, or, they can't get back to the promised land, then I think at that point, you start considering stuff. But he re-signed, he signed a contract extension last year. They're not getting rid of him, but he needs to have a seat.
It sounds like you've changed your opinion recently. Am I reading you right or am I reading you wrong? Have you felt like Kyle needs to have the seat warm a month ago, or is this kind of more recent that you felt that way?
I think over time I've kind of started to, I got a little irritated, man, because it's just like, okay,
I am too.
We know the issues, but it's every week, Larry. It's the same thing. It's like, take some accountability. We know you're embarrassed. We know, but what are you going to do to fix it? It's just you're sitting here, you're telling us, do the things, fix the things. Like you said earlier, you were saying you think the team just quit in the front office by not signing anybody. Like those decisions.
I think the front office has stopped trying to make this team better this year. Yes,
those are decisions, but Kyle's part of that decision.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of thing. And man, that Super Bowl did a number on him. And I'm going to say this might be controversial. He did show up a little sauced up at the Super Bowl last year. He came in
but I don't care about that. Did you care about that?
I do. That's something. Come on, man. Super Bowl week. You need to be focused.
But I know that was media day.
No, I don't care. You need to be laser focused.
On media day, he can't have a couple pops?
No, you got to be laser focused. Did he win the Super Bowl, Larry? Right. Did he win a Super Bowl?
No, but did he lose the Super Bowl because he had a couple pops on media day?
No, but did he win a Super Bowl?
No.
Until you win a Super Bowl, I don't want you showing up sauced up at all.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Super Bowl.
I don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with nothing is the problem. Okay. What's up with Sorensen? Love Sorensen. What's up with Campbell? Love Campbell. What's up with this guy? Love that guy. Well, you're losing games. So stop loving everybody. Maybe Campbell's not great. Maybe Sorensen's not great. Maybe Brandon Staley's not great. You know what I mean? You're losing games. So somebody is to blame. All right. I'm sorry, but we can't have this blameless losing. And that's kind of where they are right now. It's like this kind of like, well, we lost, but it's not this guy's fault. It's not that guy's fault. It's not his fault. It's nobody's really to blame. Schneider, the special teams coach, no, he's solid. Sorensen, no, he's doing a really nice job. I love what I'm seeing from Campbell. Chris Forster, Jake Brendel has never been better. I mean, it's like, is this a Twilight Zone? I mean, everybody's playing like crap. How come everybody's so beloved? I'm doing better. Nobody loves me. I don't see people going, yeah, I love Krug. He's the greatest guy ever. They're still kind of taking shots at me and everybody's got their questions, but I'm winning. I'm not losing. If I was losing, I wouldn't want everybody to go, well, you know what? Yeah, his channel sucks and nobody watches it, but I love Krug. He's doing a great job. It's like, stop telling me that guys that are failing are not failing. They're failing. So sorry, Sorensen doesn't look good. Campbell does not look good. You know what I mean? Stop gaslighting me with this bullshit. If somebody would actually stand up, be accountable, and take total credit or blame and just be like, hey, look, we made some decisions and those aren't good decisions and those guys aren't playing well. Okay, then undo them. You have Campbell, but is he the only linebacker in the world? No. So go find somebody else. No, we're not going to do that. So it's like, we love Campbell. I think we split. John Lynch. I love John Lynch, but he went on the radio last week and told us that the offensive line was playing great. They're not. They're not playing great. Come on, John.
They've been telling us a lot of lies. He also said that Brock had one MRI. Didn't tell us about the second. He said, "Oh, Brock's looking great." And he didn't play on Sunday. So
yeah. I mean, I can't listen to Brendel looks great when Pro Football Focus says he's the 40th rated center out of 40.
He's so bad. Bad.
Getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated.
I
don't mind winning. I like to win. I prefer to win than to lose. But losing's part of the gig, and I get it. And I can lose just like everybody else. But I need to lose going down throwing haymakers, not going down with guys that I knew couldn't play in August. And that here we are, we're finding out they can't play in September, October, November. It's almost fucking December, and you're still going with these guys. I can't go with that anymore. I won't front it. I won't apologize for it. I'm going to rip the shit out of it every single day. All right.